It's it's working. It's working. Subscribe to Windrops. What the fuck? Obtain rewards, buying or gifting subs. Shut the fuck up, man. Anyway, what's up? Very, very good evening. Uh, so yeah, here we are. I guess that's how I have to say. Good night. Anyway, uh, I don't know. Is there really anything to say? What? Yeah, yeah. I'm I'm sort of alright. Yeah. Welcome, Flower. Uh, a big hug. Thank you. Uh, thank you very much, Grassfan. Uh, I don't know. I kind of just wanted to, in some way, try to be there. So here we are. Probably, you, if I had thought about it more, I would have said, yeah, maybe I could have tried to just record something, but I don't know. It doesn't really feel nice to do up in that way. Uh, I don't know. Stream? Yeah, yeah, yeah. One of them, I guess. Welcome. Let's see. Uh, what used to be at some point in time the normal time, the normal time for me. Uh, I used to also try and do them at early in the morning. I don't, I, I don't even have the energy to wake up so early in the morning anymore. But yeah, so here we are. I guess it's like I don't know a band-aid. That's the word I was looking for. A band-aid, a tiny one to patch the absence in any other way. I mean, I don't know. I could have also probably tried to eat not today, but in the evening, any other day of the week that I was capable of. But it's complicated. I need to speak, so yeah, it's complicated. I don't know. I haven't playing a lot of stuff. I think I understand a little bit more why, to some degree, I don't find myself so much doing it. It's not that I don't really want. It's more I I continue learning. At the very least, I continued learning, if nothing else. Uh, and one of the many things I heard out was that there is this issue in producing something. Not in the guy that I was listening to was speaking in terms of writing. He said when a writer sits down to do something, they find that it's a complicated task because you have to be capable of creating something that feels nice. That's the essence of what he said. The issue is if you're trying to express an idea, it takes a lot of energy to properly order something in a way that not only you can understand it, and it's not something bad, but the reality is it's something annoying. It's something that most people don't really want to do. Everybody could be a teacher, but not everybody is a teacher because the reality is you, the average person never had any kind of training, doesn't have the patience to try and do that. So we end up with situations like this one of, oh wow, yeah, you know what? Uh, I will try to talk out things. I don't really have that much patience to talk out stuff every single day. It's kind of impossible to do that. So at that point, it becomes a very huge possibility to do something along the lines of, oh yeah, you know what? I am not feeling it. So What if I simply don't do it? And and at that point, you already have an excuse. And then maybe you can keep on developing something along those lines. So you end up completely doing the thing that you want to do. You don't have to worry about what you want to do because you have found a way to avoid doing it. That's how I feel in that sense. I think at some point it became a tradition to simply say, yeah, you know what, I wanna say something. I have thought out stuff, but I might be X or Y or this one thing might be going on or that other thing. I don't know, man. I think the reality is when you're willing to do it, you find a way to make it happen. That's just how things work in general. I I don't think it's that complicated. You wanna do something, you find a way to make it happen. You don't really need to be overthinking any kind of matter. You just find a way to create what you want, and that's enough. The situation is when one is overly complacent with oneself, you can, in too many ways, just ignore the issues that you are presenting to yourself. It's easier to simply say that it's a way that you always used to be, so you don't need to confront anything. You don't need to deal with the issues. They are not your issues, they are just things that make you be who you are. And that's everything that you sort of need, I guess. But yeah, that is, I guess, the starting line of today. That I don't know, I was thinking and I said, yeah, you know what? I kinda had been, I don't know, how long has it been? Probably 3 weeks already. I have been for the past 3 weeks wanting to go live. Why the fuck do I not go live? What is the real issue? Not just today, as in this last issue of wow, yeah, I have this desire, but I cannot make it happen. Where is the problem? The problem is always in the things that you do. It's in, I don't know, not thinking that what you wanna do is truly interesting, that what you wanna make happen needs to be truly given. It's the acceptance that, yeah, you know what, I can slowly betray what I want. I don't need to want anything that is useful for myself. I don't need to try myself with any kind of interest what I see as minimally useful. So we can just ignore all of that, you know? We can move past the possibility of ever finding a way to do what is it that I think would be nice to do. That's like the starting point. That's just the mere beginning of the whole issue. It's always, I don't know, there is a common topic that I always talk about when I get the opportunity to do so. Um, Dreams. The final point is you can give up on everything else to the degree to which you have a dream. You have given up on everything else. How hard it will be for you to say, yeah, you know what? This one thing that I have been dreaming of, it's also too overly complicated. I cannot accomplish that in any way. It takes too much effort. Why would I ever try to do that? I always try to organize myself. Hmm? Give me a second because that's like a lot of text. Sorry. The very hungry caterpillar. Like, not probably. I have never heard of it, but I might probably read it. I I should write it down somewhere But it sounds interesting. Thank you for sharing. I What did I hear the first thing? It came from a course. It was one of the teachers that I have is a very weird guy on one hand, but on the other one, he cannot bother himself with explaining things properly. So it took me like 3 years to finally go back to what he said once and understand that, yeah, stuff like this is interesting, the process of writing, this isn't writing, but an analogy. The process of writing, the process of creating something that you want, is something that requires the acceptance that it won't be completely enjoyable, and also that you cannot be expecting always to have the perfect conditions for that. That's like the most basic piece, but it's always about at least trying to do it. I don't know. It's probably if you look around you, you will find enough people to say similar stuff. Yeah, I I I wonder. Should I try this one thing? I don't know, man. Should you? Are you interested in trying anything? Why not give it an at one go? Why don't you see what happens once you are trying and once you are confronting the reality? Maybe it isn't as stars, maybe it isn't as bad, but it's complicated. It's not just a matter of, oh yeah, I will picture in my mind how everything will go. So I don't know. It's a complicated matter. I think. See, I don't like the idea of, yeah, the biggest enemy is the mind. No, man. It's incredibly black and white. Oh yeah, it's your biggest enemy. You don't have any enemies. You literally have yourself. You don't need anyone else to try and attack you because you are already your biggest problem. No, you know what? Everybody could have a nice mind. It's an insulting thing to say, yeah, you should give up on ever fixing the mentality that you have. But it's it can be true to some degree. Maybe you keep ignoring the signals. Maybe you keep saying, yeah, you know what? Today I will do the best thing that I have ever done in my whole life. I will decide that what I find interesting is no more useful to try and do. So you abandon that. And I don't know, man. It's energy. I don't know. I mean, at some point, I guess probably. I mean, trying to be honest. On one hand, yeah, one of the many things I thought about was I should try to be more honest. I hate when, personally, I say, I hate it when people are fake. Yet here we are. I cannot say most of the stuff that I want to say because I filter myself too much. It's a wonderful thing that you realize you might say something, yet you decide to hold that back. So, what I was trying to say was, uh, I don't know. I think at some point, personally speaking, you just accept that you won't have energy, and you do it anyways. I mean, I don't know. Okay. I can phrase it in a better way to not sound so despite not having any kind of energy left, if the thing that you wanna do is interesting enough, you can find a way to do it. Not that you need to spend every single second of your life thinking for a way to make it happen. That's the inaction of the preparation process of believing that at some point things will get better. And yeah, at some point things do get better only if you are working on them. You don't, nobody gets, not that you personally, nobody gets the pleasure of having a better life completely out of the blue. At the very, very least, in the most, I don't know, in the most counter examples that anybody can give, people that already knew you had an interest over what is your life to try and help you if you yourself decided to give up. But it doesn't mean that it came out of nowhere. It was almost an unavoidable consequence of you having met somebody else who saw that you were struggling and tried at the very least to extend their hands towards you. It's this idea of what most people need is just a little push. You don't need the whole world. You don't need somebody who backs you up every single day. You just need sometimes a minimal instance of properly talking about what you want with somebody who can at least feign interest, make it look like they have some kind of interest. And at that point, it becomes then, yeah, maybe I can try it. And it's not once again, I myself don't think the energy is so much the problem. It's more like the way in which I see it. I can make it look like I have an issue with, oh yeah, I'm too tired. You know what? Today I'm too tired. I would rather be in bed if it was for me, but at the same time, I can't keep avoiding it, you know? Uh, Trying to not directly copy what I heard from somebody else. I know that I love doing stuff like this. Why can't I at least try to do it, you know? Even if I am tired, it doesn't mean that I am going to die here, right now, if I push myself a little bit further, you know? It's not the end, just because I don't find myself to be the most energized I have ever been. I can keep going a little bit more. I, I can minimally try something, and I can at least make it look like I still like it to anyone else. If it is that I am trying to, I don't know, the excuse of put up a show or whatever, you know, it's, I once again, not somebody who you should be hearing, I guess, but I think it's the issue, not energy. It's never about energy. It's more about, yeah, I I just don't feel it. I just don't feel it. The energy appears out of nowhere. It's okay. A good comparison is, you know how, at least that's my guess. When you wake up, you feel completely tired. You could probably go for another 12 hours of sleeping if it was for you. So you're given two possibilities. You can go to bed, or you can face, confront the next 30 minutes of your life. You're going to feel like shit. You think so. But slowly, as long as you are busy doing anything else, it's not that important. And in the end, you end up realizing, oh yeah, I, I can live this day. I was indeed not so tired. I wasn't about to pass out as I was feeling the moment that I opened my eyes. I can indeed have a normal life. I can indeed do these things that I want. I I might be too forgiving with the way that I decide to think about this one issue. I I feel like I am tired. Therefore, I am completely unable of doing anything. I cannot believe it. I love how much I can accept one minimal problem as the whole reason for stopping. And I don't know. I think It's also, on the other hand, not true. I wish it was true. It's the advantage of having knowledge is that you can also have thoughts yourself. You can twist the knowledge in ways that no one else could to a certain degree. So in this case, it becomes something bad. You are faced with the reality of, and yeah, you know what? I am tired. And you know what I heard? If I am tired and I try to do something that I want, I will ruin it. What if I don't do it? What if I were to skip it? You know what? It's not worth it. It's never worth it. I am tired constantly, so I will keep on avoiding it. And I don't know, man. It's I've at least once in my case, at some point you kinda give up on just hitting that side of yourself, I think. You realize that, yeah, maybe I am starting to rob myself out of every single chance that I have if I keep acting like that. It's being complacent with how you are that becomes the final issue. So I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, that's that's my response is I I don't know in anything things. But yeah, going back to what I was trying to say earlier, like just do it. Kinda, yeah. I mean, okay. Uh, yeah, just do it. I guess if it works, just do it. But yeah, I don't know. I what was on this thing that the teacher has said? It took me so fucking long to understand. And at least he excuses himself with, yeah, what I say isn't going to be so understandable to you. Maybe, mister, maybe it isn't going to be so understandable. Maybe you could try to do a better show and explain everything. I like to be mouth fed in that sense, you know. I don't get angry if I am taken as if I were a child and given every single piece of information so that it makes more sense. It takes 3 more hours, but I understand the idea. I don't need to spend so much time thinking about it. Anyways, the idea was, yeah, whenever anyone wants to do something, there is a very intimate part about it that needs to be enacted. And in the process of creating something, you need to be capable of accepting that you need some degree of privacy, I guess. And I don't know. On one hand, I understand what that meant. On the other one, I was trying to properly see it. I mean, that's still the issue. I haven't properly understood how to frame it in a way that makes sense for me. Because it's the issue that I have to talk here. On one hand, I like it, but on the other hand, it kind of makes sense. That's just because I have to share thoughts in a way that doesn't seem so articulate. I end up struggling so much with that, and I don't know. It's also he was talking. He gave like a lot of examples, and it's completely understandable that so many people who were in the end great minds have written so much. But it's disappointing that, on the other hand, you could do so many things if you weren't so afraid of failing. I don't know. Example, you could try to have, or sorry, uh, I could personally try to have a better way of enunciating things so that everybody could understand. Do I do it? No. But on the other hand, I already live accepting that it will unavoidably happen. People won't understand it. And the same thing happens with creating something and not being completely capable of giving it the best shape that you can. At the very least, you did it. It's in how many ways does one settle down with, oh yeah, I cannot do this one thing, I cannot share this one experience with anyone else because it's something more private. I need more privacy. I need a better setup. I need. Do you need so many things? I don't think so, man. I don't think I would need so much stuff. That's not the point. That was never the point of anything that had any kind of usefulness. It's not. I don't know. You if you wanna see it or connect it with anything else, you have something like you live in a world in which too many things are given to you to make your life easier. You end up accepting then that the possibility of making things the best that they could ever be before you even begin to do anything is a necessity, not just a chance, something that you might try to do. It's an obligation that you have. That if you're not setting up everything in the most correct way, you're not going to get what you want. And I don't know, man. It's in the end, if one wants to do something, it's disappointing to see you. I mean, at least personally speaking, it's disappointing to see oneself give up just because there is an unending list of things that need to be done. I, I don't know. For example, one of the many issues I have was the same thing of, yeah, I need to keep reading. There is no proper point in which I can create anything because I cannot explain anything properly that I find useful enough myself. I I don't know. I taking a little bit of time to explain it more properly. At this point I don't know. I have had this whole song for like 2 years, and ever since I finally committed to doing this, I also started with this big. I don't know if it is a thought or not. Of oh yeah, one day I will write something. And it is an unending journey of, oh yeah, one day, but not today. One day, but not tomorrow. I am not ready yet. I need to keep on consuming information. Do you? Even if you don't produce something original, as long as it is capable of influencing anybody, it's useful enough. As long as what you are doing can make someone else happy, I guess, that's enough. That's more than enough. The final point, I if you are still not happy with, oh yeah, you made someone smile for 1 second, as long as you can improve someone else's life for 1 second so that they do not end up taking an even worse path, that was good enough. That was completely good enough. It's not about, oh yeah, I need it to be the most amazing piece that there will ever be out there. You just need to do something, anything, in any way. And the person who is watching, who is actively watching, trying to see where is it that you can do something, has 1,000 opportunities to act every single day. If you are just trying to create a new one, it doesn't really happen that often. It doesn't really. If you wanna say it in a kind of disappointing way, yeah, we are not all that clever. You cannot find a new way to solve. You cannot reinvent the wheel, but you can do what worked before, at the very least, and that's enough. And if the point is to make things better, you will already make things better with what works. and that's it. This whole journey of, oh yeah, yeah, I need more things. I need so many more things to be properly set in order. Does it matter? I don't think so, man. I don't see it as useful. Right now, I don't see it as useful. I probably if I have a conversation with, I don't know, the me from 5 months ago, I will say something different. But right now, I don't see it at all like that, man. It's pointless. It's completely pointless to keep on waiting for so many things to be in some way good. There are always horrible things happening. There is never a good moment. That's the reality. And I don't know. It's just you get tired, I guess. If you get enough, you get tired. That's how it works. If you truly want to do something, you just realize how much more do I have to fucking wait before I do anything? How much more do I need to keep on setting up stuff before it goes correctly? My man, I love everything that I have already, but I cannot keep waiting. I am going to die like this. I mean, it's anybody who lives in the world to some degree is aware of, yeah, maybe tomorrow I don't wake up. How much more do you have to to wait? How many more days need to pass before anything is done? It's the time is running out, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. That's kind of the thing that I was thinking about. And there is the reason for why am I here. Even if it so far based on something that doesn't used to exist anymore, besides in my own mind, I guess. Uh, that's why I'm at this time present instead of what used to be the normal schedule like 1 year ago. So yeah, thank you. That's my justification. It took me how much? 30 minutes. So yeah, that that's that, I guess. But anyway, I I don't know. I one of the many wonderful things. I tend to bottle up like a lot of things. So that there is a lot of cloth to cut still, I guess. Is that the common expression? Probably not. But people understand what I mean. Do they? We will never know. Anyway, uh, so yeah, that's so far what has been going on. I guess at some point, you just say maybe I should give it a try, and you end up doing what you want, and life isn't so complicated yet again. It's it's the way in which one thinks about things that makes it look so well. But I don't know, man. At at least one can in any form keep going. At least I don't know. It's always a nice thing to know, even if on the other hand it's kind of insulting. If you just hear it like that, oh yeah, you haven't decided to end everything. Yeah, man, I don't know. Um, it's it's certainly complicated. I guess anybody who reads too much has. I kind of mentioned that before. One of the issues of learning is you have potential potentially annoying things to learn about. You have a lot of potential, yes. That's not something that isn't true. Anyway, it has a lot of potential, but you have potentially hurtful things that you will find. But not, I don't know. Is it truly bad? I don't think that the act of learning is something so negative. I think it's just a way in which one also gives up suddenly. It's just, oh yeah, I have to learn out this one thing. I have to try and find something that catches my interest, but it might hurt me. I don't know, man. I haven't had a single day of my life in which I wasn't in some way hurt. I don't mean it in the most deepest way. Oh yeah, every single day that I live, I am stabbed in the gut. No, I am talking about probably today I woke up and I don't know, I twisted my ankle. That's already something that hurt me, but I can keep going despite that. Not every issue is the final issue of my life. Not every issue impedes me from doing everything that I see. Even if I find an idea that might be negative, it doesn't mean that I need to do something about it, or that it will completely destroy me, or anything like that. It's it's disappointing in that sense. It's the way in which we have given up in so many fields, man. That's yeah. That's sort of what I had been trying to harbor. I guess I pray it helps me. Makes sense. Makes sense. I don't know. Yeah. Today is about being honest. So being honest, I wish I had that capacity of believing in something. I I don't know. You talk a lot with people, I guess. So, or, sorry, I personally talk a lot of with a lot of people. So I end up finding out, yeah, I cannot trust in that. I I I I don't find it truly believable. I wish I had a way in which it worked. It would be something so wonderful. It's, and I don't know. I think it's just, in the end, if I had to be honest, I just think the person who cannot in any way pray is just cynic. That's the reality. Maybe it might be insulting, sorry, but maybe just the act of believing that what you can do, just the act of envisioning something that I personally want to happen and trying to do something so that it ends up happening is a form of prayer. Every single culture possesses something that allows them to enact the particular itself act of praying, even if it is a completely different process throughout each culture. Maybe in the end, somebody like me, I guess, just by trying to say, yeah, maybe things will get better. That's enough, man. That's enough. That's enough of a prayer, you know. But it's just we're far too removed from that constantly. I guess. I I mean that's that's the wonderful thing. You wanna learn about stuff. No, it's bad. So I on the other hand, you are told something and that's everything, and there is nothing else to learn. You are told, or not that you are out of nowhere at all. You say, I wish for things to be better. No, they will not get better. And that's it. You have to live with that for the rest of your life. There is no way in which you can learn if that is true, if that is the reality. You just need to settle down with what one person says. There is no way in which you can try to do something to make it in any way better. the possibility of learning is also there for that, man. It's so annoying to see so many people. Yeah, you cannot learn anything. It's such a dangerous process. Do you realize how many ways in which you see the world are already hurting you? How if you were to try at the very least to accept a little bit of knowledge about the stuff that surrounds you, you will have a not so cruel life. You won't need to be haunted by every single ghost of your past, every single fear that surrounds you. What a completely tiresome thing, man, it is to be around people who are incapable of, I might need to learn. Wow, it's something tiresome. I won't try it. And then I clap to myself. I had the best idea. I will remain in the same place as always. Is it truly useful? I don't know, man. Don't you complain every single day about the stuff that happens to you? And you aren't willing to see if there is any way out? Anyway, I kinda. If there is anything to be said, I kinda started to scream, so probably I shouldn't. Sorry. But yeah, praying. Praying is wonderful. That's what I wanted to say. So yeah, thank you. I mean, okay, there it is. That's something that I will say. Pray not just for you, pray for everyone, man. Pray for everyone. There are so many people who also need it, but that's where I am sadly not happy. I wish I could pray for someone else. And just the act of thinking about someone else will help them. That's where I get angry. No, man, it doesn't work. No matter how much I worry about some stuff, it doesn't get better. Actions need to follow in many cases. In every single case, I I, I wish it wasn't that tiresome. But we came to life to play, and the act of living a fulfilling life is the act of being capable of having the best play that you could. So there is no meaning in complaining that it will take you time and energy. You know that you have to do things. Yet you're going to stay here and say, oh yeah, it's going to tire me out to try and do this thing. Really, man? I don't know. I or me, and not that I don't know. I already did that for like too much fucking long. So now I say it, and it doesn't feel right anymore. I'm sorry, but it stopped feeling right. Today, probably it stopped feeling right to say, yeah, I want to go to hell and rot in bed, nothing else. What the fuck do you gain by doing that, man? What do I personally gain? Nothing. If even the act of going to rest doesn't even happen, if even the most normal thing that is to get a proper night's sleep is not a possibility, who are you trying to convince with, oh yeah, today everything will be so much better because I avoided doing what I like by being a responsible person? Truly, truly that was your best play. That you have to be a responsible person. You're suffering, and you decide to say, yeah, today, today I did the right thing. I don't know. So yeah, that's I guess the experience of being alive. Thank you. Anyways, completely. Anyways, I ah at some point I was trying to say something about that also. Yeah, I think I If, not if, sorry, when okay, I hate sharing. One of the facts, uh, discovering something that I say every so often. Whenever you share something, there is a huge risk of you get the satisfaction from sharing that one thing because mentally you're getting the approval that equals to how you might be capable of doing it. So you die in your own thoughts by believing that because someone said that you were capable of, you don't need to put any effort into doing it. So I hate talking out any kind of thing just because of that. The reality is probably you shouldn't base yourself so much on what other people say. But it's unavoidable, man. It's completely unavoidable. I wish it was that easy to completely disregard what other people have to say. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. So anyway, the point was, I was thinking probably by this winter break that we will be having very soon, I should probably get to write. It's like time already. That I will say something that already someone said at some point. Doesn't change anything. Nobody almost ever has a properly genuine idea. Yeah, probably you can find every kind of argument to say, oh wow, what this person is doing is not being original because this or that. So, you know what? It's time to accept it as a fact. It won't happen. There are no original ideas left in this world, I guess. There is nothing new to create. So, at the very least, what I say will try to be something useful. And along those lines of what I mentioned before, yeah, it has been the general struggle of, I don't know, I talking with people and seeing that issue of, yeah, I gave up. I gave up on something that I want to do just because I cannot see myself doing it. It will be, not that it's, no, it isn't just disappointing. It's not about being disappointed, wow, you betrayed my expectations. No, it's about you can do things. The moment in which you try, you find out if you can do them or not. But you are capable of trying a lot of things. And if you try, you find out a lot more. How many people could have it so much better if they tried, man? How many times do I have to see people just decide, yeah, you know what? This isn't my thing anymore. You think that's the conclusion? That's the end? That's it? Man, you know how much potential you have? There is no way in which I can say that to you. You, you already probably know it yourself. You already probably can't see that in any way. What will I say that will make anything better? If I have to give up, if I was forced to give up, and somebody told me, oh yeah, you know what, you could have been so much more amazing. I will wanna die. I don't need somebody else to remind me about the possibilities. I know that I am capable of stuff. I don't need someone else to tell me that. I don't need somebody to just come here and tell me straight to my face, yo, Tupo, you can do this one thing. Can I? Do I need your words in that sense? I don't know, man. I I am already capable of seeing it. Being reminded about it by someone else is just hurtful. That's why it's complicated to say anything like that. But yeah, going back to the point, trying to not complain so much. Yeah, uh, it's that's the idea. Try to write something along those lines. One of the readings I have been having lately, I, yeah, as a passing line in the thousand things that I will say today, I heard about this guy. I already at some point talked about him more in detail. Emil Cioran, that guy is. I haven't read actually myself that many books. Most of the stuff that I do go through is the audiobook stuff. And I kind of appreciate reading something because giving it a proper intonation by myself makes it a lot less, not serious, a lot less negative. There is a lot of irony within the stuff that you read. I don't know. I think I have heard already like 50% of the people trying to take into consideration every single person that I have heard from who has heard about this author. 50% of the people who goes through this guy seems to end up taking the final outcome, which he considers negative, just a roundabout way to say, yeah, this guy talks about suicide, and they end up taking that route. Uh, and I don't know, man. So far, I don't see it that way. I don't know what you are interpreting from that. That guy is incredibly funny to some degree. You know how wonderful it is to see somebody being so negative. I it kind of I guess that's bad to say, no, but it kind of reminds myself some days, and also even to some degree, why I don't want to some extent compare, because I know that there are points in which I don't say anything good, man. I I fear that anybody considers what I say at any level because I am incredibly negative, man. I know it myself, but when I have to see it on someone else, it's funny. And that guy is incredibly funny. I mean, there are 1,000 authors like that, but it has been a very good reading so far. It has been a very good reading. It's like the sort of comedy, I guess, that I have been capable of finding. I remember there is this stand-up guy also. Not not anymore. Not in the present time. There used to be this old stand-up man who did a sort of, I don't know even if he wasn't really philosophical. He was more political, based on the American politics stuff. And this old guy used to critique a lot of the things, and people laughed. That sort of thing is what happens with these guys. I remember when I had to read a little bit of Nietzsche, it was the same thing. I don't know why people takes it so seriously. Oh yeah, we're all going to die. Is that truly something bad? You cannot even avoid it. Why would it be something negative? Eh? Sub? I don't know. What's up? Good question. Everything. The market is up. Buy stock right now. No. That's not financial advice, please. Do not buy. But yeah. Anyway, I don't know. That's basically uh, that isn't so bad. I mean, message. Do not invest into message. What the fuck does that mean? What? Brother, I mean, does that mean? What? Anyway, um, I don't know. I mean, is it really that bad to say it? I know it's like, oh wow, yeah, controversial take. That isn't that bad. That's what I wanted to say. I mean, thank you very much. It's one of those things that I really don't want to say because now I have to explain what the fuck do I mean. And now also reality. If I had to hear that from somebody else, I would probably think, oh wow, this person is suicidal. Yeah, I don't doubt it at all. If I hear it from anyone, I will probably say, what the fuck is this I say? Is he going to kill him? Yeah, no. Sorry. I don't mean it that way. But, people make such a fucking big deal out of, oh wow, yeah, do I? So there is a point in which this ends. Wow, this is so amazing. I don't know. That's the reality, man. That's how things work. That's There is a point in which I don't know what happens after this, but this reality, the world of suffering ends at some point. Thank you. That's all that I need. Now anything else makes sense because there is an end. I guess that's the issue of also talking out anything like that. You do not properly elaborate, and it sounds like, oh yeah, you know what, we should all probably at this point. I think if anybody do not try it, but if anybody were to report this will be taken down, taken into consideration the many allegories used in the last like 5 minutes. But um, if you were to try it would happen. Anyways, the reality is, it doesn't really mean that you need to end yourself. That's not the point. Uh, the point is, also, you shouldn't try it. It will unavoidably happen. You shouldn't try rushing something that will inevitably come. What? Don't worry. Don't just okay. Just don't report the channel. Thank you. That's everything that I need to know, that this won't be reported. Uh, can we get the one bad faith actor to report this channel now, so that we get to see if this gets taken down for anyway, don't worry. So yeah, basically that, I guess. Uh, it's annoying to hear people talk about, oh yeah, that is such a bad thing. No, man, it isn't. But on the other hand, also it doesn't mean, oh wow, yeah, we need all to die right now. No, man, it will come. Just try to have a nice life in the meanwhile. Just try to do something. You wanna know something wonderful? You have found, in any way, if you have been capable of following the idea of, wow, yeah, we will die. Unavoidably, we will die. So, meanwhile, I need to have a good life as much as I can. What about following realization? There are people who cannot in any way deal with this reality. There are people who are incapable of handling the truth about, yeah, this is going to end at some point. What about helping them, man? I think that's something else that I also find incredibly disgusting. You cannot say that it should be more necessary to care about more about others. You're being fake. What the fuck are you talking about? Do you see the world that is around you, man? Do you slowly find out more and more how more we are disconnected from everyone else? I see. I don't want to sound racist, okay? I am not saying it because of wow, they are particularly from that place, but I see any kind of more advanced society where they are incapable of properly caring for somebody who's dying on the streets, and I feel like I don't want to live there, you know. That's an incredibly hurtful thing. What is this world if we cannot care about someone else? What is the point of this if I cannot say to someone else, yeah, you know, there are good things can happen. You don't need to be negative. You don't need to deal with something that is bad. It's incredibly annoying to deal with all of that. Yeah, no, yeah, yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. There are a thousand different things that are worth not caring about. But I don't know. Another human being? I don't think so. I truly don't think so, man. I am sorry. But anyway, I don't know. Probably that's most of what I have to say. No, not really. I the reality is, I started with this, so continue with that same line of, oh yeah, I should try to be honest. You know, something funny that happens is, I think many times I say too much shit. I shouldn't say anymore. It's problematic to talk, you know, so maybe it's time for me to shut up. No, I don't think so. Not today. It's just, do you drink? Yeah, I'm okay. Every single time that you hear me pause, don't worry. We I am one of those guys who doesn't have a high rate reading because I'm consistently enough hydrating myself. Furthermore, I'm one of the guys who probably, if they had a high rate reading, would end up consistently hyponatremic, you know? That's not because, just because of the high rate reading, because that is a constant in my life. I drink too much water, so don't worry. Don't worry. Uh, Water is not exactly something that I am needing. And no, also, if that was the implied joke, which I didn't get in the moment, no, I'm not drunk. I wish I was, probably. But sometimes reality is better if you are sober, you know? So the sober reality with its complexities is not as annoying as one makes it out to be. So yeah, it's better to try and stay alive in that sense. But yeah, I don't know. It's such. Also, wait. I can. Give me a second. I should probably check the audio. Also, yeah, that is something that I wanted to mention. I realized the audio is complete garbage. Like, not even funny, bad tier. It was that there was an electric noise in the microphone, which after I don't know how long I have had this microphone for, but I just heard it and it was a beeping noise, like an incredibly high pitched beeping noise that probably was causing not in past tense. It probably still happens from time to time, not as often, but it still happens. Uh, but high pitched enough sound that was probably with long enough exposure might cause hearing loss. So yeah, not the funny haha bad audio type, but the more like haha I am starting to hear less and less. Uh, haha. So yeah. Anyways, What I was going to say before, no, not before, before, before maybe, is that I can do is I don't know how much did the audio has changed, and I am not anymore. Let's say like this: I am not anymore close to the PC to see. Anyways, don't worry. Uh, it's also something weird, you know. Streaming should be something that you're doing while feeling comfortable, you know. Well, I don't know if exactly while being comforted is the. I think at that moment. Uh, Sorry, I am ESL. That's my excuse. But I think at that point, being comforted is like a completely different word or a completely different sentence. So yeah, you should try to be as comfortable as possible when streaming, basically. So yeah, uh, I don't know. It just feels so wrong. But who cares, man? At, if if you are doing it, okay, think about it like this. If you are doing what you want because you like it, why would you try to stop it in so many ways? Do you truly like what you are doing if you cannot allow yourself to do it? Because you think that who okay, what is the real point? That somebody might judge? Everything gets judged, honestly. Even what you do right gets judged. And even if you are doing it to the best of your abilities, it gets taken as something bad. Are you truly going to let anything like that stop you? I don't know, man. I don't really see the point sometimes in saying, oh, well, yeah, things are complicated. Things are, in some way or another, not so nice. I cannot keep going. Man, sometimes I think people who gave up, that's one of the many things that I keep trying to properly, in any way, frame. It's a complicated idea, I guess, because it isn't like it doesn't make sense. Life is fucking hard. But when you can find something that you truly like, you can't give up, man. Do people really not find things that they care about? Why do you do things that you don't truly care about? Why do you commit so much of your life to doing things that you don't really find enjoyable? You know, that's the annoying part of this. That's the annoying part of being around so many people. Why are they so interested in doing things that they never wanted to? Or not that you don't want to. Once again, going back to what I said like 40 minutes ago, if you just wait until oh yeah, today I want to, it might never happen. But doing things that you don't have any passion for, I don't get it, man. I I have seen at least that has been my experience, you know. That's the bias of the personal experience. I have seen people go through some horrible stuff. For example, most of the people that I know who works in construction and whatnot, if they could, they will probably never do something like that. It's an incredibly tiresome show, and they choose to keep on doing it. It's a conscious act to keep on doing something of that sort because there are other things that need to be fulfilled. There is a family that needs to survive on the money that you earn. There is a world that needs to be sustained based on the things that you might not like. Today, once again, obviously it is a wrong sort of comparison, but it's just another example, not a comparison really. It's just another example. If I were to hear what I think, yeah, today I might not be feeling it, Today I might not be feeling like streaming. If the point is something that works, that in the end has any kind of value, it doesn't matter if I am not feeling it. You might never feel like doing it. But when is the work going to be done? When are things going to get finally to the place that they need to be in? If nothing is moving them. That's what I mentioned earlier of, yeah, I wish praying was such a nice tool for helping people, but actions are what the result with them. I wish I was capable of solving issues by simply having them in my mind. Life, reality will be so much easier if all the things that happened were solved just because you think about them and whatnot. But it doesn't happen. It never happens like that. So yeah, I guess that's it. I don't know. It's it's just sometimes I guess that's also another thing. Sometimes you just want to talk about anything, not truly any fundamental thing or any advanced idea. I I I kind of even feel like, to a degree, being here is the 10,000 repetitions of the same thing, 10,000 10,000 hours of saying uh, uplifting stuff instead of an hour of 10,000 different things every single day. It very much feels the same always, but slowly it gets better. I wish we all were gifted with the capacity of doing every single thing that we wanted, that was imaginable, so to speak, in the good way, not in a perverse one, but it's not possible. It's just not a possibility. So yeah, you just have to make it do with what you have, and I, it's surprisingly enough, most of the time, things that do exist are not as bad. Most of the time, I mean, not just most of the time, could be most represents the majority. 51% is the majority. No, easily 90% of the time. Easily 90% of the time, everything can be a lot easier in reality than what one imagines. It's it's the constant struggle. I think that's still what I keep on. I will probably at some point have a fight with somebody because of that, I guess. But it seems unacceptable that you cannot say, oh yeah, we should be taught, teached how to properly frame stuff. The way in which negativity is so accepted. Not Earlier I mentioned that there is a way in which you can make it sound fun, but the normal stuff of being completely negative in a way that it's just about, oh yeah, let's discard everything. Let's not even try to have anything to say about this stuff. Let's just say no to everything. How basic are you, man? How incapable of doing anything are you that you need to go to the most basic degree of the idea? To whom are you doing any kind of good service? If you have expectations, hopes, stuff that you would want to do, why would you even believe that it is a useful thing to do? To continuously negate everything, you know? Why is negativity accepted as a way of living? It's that's the negative thing. But I don't know. It's the same thing as what I said before. Somehow you are now pushing people too much if you say, yeah, there are things that shouldn't be taught. There are things that might be banned. Oh wow. I don't know. Oh, what? I just had a memory. There was this doctor who was even speaking this. What is it? They are psychiatrists. The guys who are clinics. Then they do some learning about the mind. Who says something along the lines of, I think it was. I can only think of it in Spanish. Clonazepam, I think it was. But basically, one of the many benzodiazepines, benzos, opioids, basically, opium. Everybody should fucking smoke opium if the point is to make everyone happy. But at the same time, yeah, it will also lead to like addiction and death of everyone. So yeah, it's not as easy as it sounds. I mean, in the realm of the ideas, everything is so easy. Also, it's as easy as it is to solve issues. It is as easy to make them look incredibly impossible. The problem is having to deal with the reality of stuff. The problem is that, yeah, no, things don't go as one expects them to go. It if anybody was capable of predicting everything, they would probably be either dead or in the most amazing place of the world that they wanted to. But it doesn't happen. Nobody is given that capacity, sadly, I guess. So it's kind of in that way just a realization of, yeah, this this thing better be not this thing as in this life better be something that you can try to enjoy in some way. And more often than not, it just results in, yeah, I can place my mind and stuff. And maybe if I care enough about it, it will be something that I will not abandon. And then from that point onwards, I guess anything else is easier. It's if if I wanted to say it in a proper way, I don't really have the words. I can only say it feels like so far humanity hasn't done that much of a good job accepting the passions. It to some degree they have even become one of the many vices of the world to be passionate about this stuff. It's something bad. To care about something is bad. Uh, To be capable of saying that you will give your everything that something is bad. To be a completely faithful follower of one dream, one idea. Certain, I understand it when we're talking about people. It makes sense. You shouldn't follow somebody. You shouldn't follow somebody else because what they say or what they do or whatever. But something that you can think of that's condemned, certainly within all ethical boundaries of, oh yeah, you think that any amount of people should die, you're wrong. Uh, there is no way which it can't be worked around. Sadly, there is no way. We we don't live in the reality in which killing is the solution to any kind of issue. Probably. No, no. We sadly don't live in that reality, so yeah. Ah, but yes, it's it's just that the continuous existence of things that one might try to work on, and the acceptance of that, seeing it as something nice instead of such a hassle that one needs to deal with. I just, personally at least, I just find it annoying. It's like we could, on a personal degree, I love to hear people talk about ideas. There is nothing more wonderful than ideas to me. I think if I had to express it in some way, despite the concept of conceptualizations themselves being something that seems so far too unique to humans, I think there is nothing as wonderful as the capacity of creating even more complex conceptualizations based on previous conceptualizations. That we cannot do that properly, that we are not allowed to do something like that we cannot construct more and more ideas, that we cannot lose ourselves in a world of ideas, is what we have to deal with. That the reality which could be filled with things to think about, with things to see, things to experience. It's such a boring reality of there are so many issues, and not true issues. There are so many fabricated issues. There are so many things that are just there to satisfy another kind of system, another kind of thing that is based on completely different ideals, certainly. But we cannot have anything like that. We cannot enjoy a sort of peaceful life about the stuff that anybody seems to think about. No, man. It's it's the part about always having to fall in line that seems uncomfortable the most. I mean, after all, if nothing else, how many people could simply not that I think there is something implied when they say fail. If people were to simply fail, you could say, oh wow, they were not trying hard enough. No, man, they are forced to quit, you know? How much people were forced to quit because the world doesn't allow them to be. How many wonderful things. One of those concepts that are more in line with what people from the first world have to deal with. How many geniuses are we losing because there are other countries that are not doing as well. Okay, how many wonderful ideas are we losing because we cannot allow the proper flourishment of them, because we cannot have discussions about them, because we do not give the possibility of thinking its proper place. It's once again what I already, not today exactly, but what I always say is horrible. Somebody who says, I hate to think, man, it should be the funniest thing to do. And you're going to say that you hate it? You're going to say that you find it annoying? Not once again. This still, I did say so far today. It might not be the most enjoyable thing in the moment. That's the same as any kind of exercise. You're using a sort of muscle. You're moving. I don't know. You want the most basic definition? You're moving energy between neurons that are interconnected inside of your brain to make some idea appear that might be interrelated. So you need the more complex your idea, the more parts of your brain you need to activate so that you can form a new path or a completely new concept if you are willing to make that happen. So it takes a lot of commitment to do that. And certainly because it starts, it won't feel as nice. But man, just because of that, you're going to say that it's bad? I don't know, man. I will have assumed that if that was your reasoning, you wouldn't be still alive. It's such a nuisance to hear so many people complain about so many things that they anyways do, and you're going to say, oh yeah, I hate thinking and completely avoid it. That's where you draw the line. The moment in which you have to deal with your own self is when you have to draw a line. When you have to say, oh yeah, wow, I cannot believe it. I have negative ideas. Everybody does. What makes you believe that you personally won't have to endure them? It's such a it's such a boring thing to hear. Oh yeah, yeah. I finally addressing one of those things that I have. I like to do these other things because it allows me to turn my brain off. Certainly, everybody is to some degree addicted to something that allows them that, but you're going to never try to fight back against that. You're going to slowly give more and more place to that. What's the point, man? What kind of reality do you think you're living in which you are given that it's not a pleasure. It's not a pleasure at all. Nobody else is content because you decided to press yourself, suppress any kind of thing that you have to say that you could have worked on just because, oh yeah, yeah, thinking is complex. I might not be the best thinker out there. I today I give up. What? That's all you can say? Truly? I don't know, man. There are too many things like that that are disappointing. And I mean, I am talking about things as if it was the most common issue. The reality is we don't even have that privilege. We're slowly even getting lazier. I personally, I really fear that we are going to not just give up on thinking, but also give up on any kind of physical realm of satisfaction. Not in the most. I did mention before, yeah, we have a lot of fucking vices. And we use that word meaninglessly. But in the case of, we do have a lot of vices. And in this case, truly negative ones of, yeah, any kind of dopaministic system that only makes you feel nice in the moment isn't truly that useful, you know? And I don't know. I think the stuff that has to do with the more physical things are starting to be more and more real. I mean, I like one of the things I have noticed. We cannot discuss children's, not not particularly here. We don't even have a platform for that. That's one of the most wonderful things. We don't even have a proper place in which this kind of thing is happening. That's sort of a different tangent, completely different tangent that I am not going to engage in right now. But this thing of we're not properly talking about stuff that matters. Like, oh yeah, you know, we need to accept that if we keep doing nothing about how much we are starting to lose terrain on what is the physical healthiness above anything else. Not condemning what is nice. Physical healthiness, being incredibly unhealthy. That's the issue. Normalizing what is unhealthy. And we are willing to give up on that. We once again, I am talking about mental stuff as if that was the most normal thing. And we are even worse in terms of physical things. But I don't know. I don't know. Once again, I also try to do a little bit of work on not coming here just to complain. So excuse me. That's the main issue of me being here. Not that at some point I turn to your average guy just screaming at the screen. But yeah, I guess I can happily not do that anywhere else. So this ends up becoming the only place when it happens. And when it happens, what was the expression? When it rains, it pours. So yeah, uh, this is okay. I don't know, man. Uh, I wouldn't think about it like this. I wouldn't be happy if I was reminded about all the issues that exist in the world. That's one of the things that I was thinking about. Of exactly even being here, you know. You get to be here. We get, I get to complain. Does complaining change anything? Once again, kind of compare that to praying. Just praying for stuff makes it better? It doesn't, man. Just complaining makes anything better? It doesn't. It's just another way of dopaministic circuits working around themselves and nothing else. It's a lie if you say, oh wow, yeah, it's it's useful to just complain. Somebody we're going to believe that somebody hearing this is going to take action. Not that everyone is incapable of, but it's a realistic expectation to say, oh yeah, I will just sit here, complain about the world, and everyone else but me is responsible for doing anything? Is that a sensible thing to say? For sure not. I think so. I don't know, man. I don't know. At least that's my judgment on the many people who does stuff like that. Of oh yeah, there's so many things to complain about. That's also why I don't like to complain. That's the what would be the term? The subconscious realization that yeah, I am complaining. I am not doing anything. You know, I am complaining. I have a thousand different cases around me in which I could try to do something. You know, Unhealthy people, I know a lot of fucking unhealthy people. The issue is, I haven't even given it a try. Helping them. Am I truly serving the world if I just get angry because they don't do anything? Is anger the solution to anything, really? Once again, killing people is not in any way how things get resolved around this world. So is anger being incredibly angry the solution? Not that anger is the emotion that everybody needs to suppress. That's not the point. It's not about, oh yeah, how, what was the scores on how males are capable of feeling anger and whatever you want to say. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, oh yeah, you're just going to sit there, get angry, and expect everything else to fix itself or to simply disappear from in front of you. I mean, you just end up lonely that way. If things go in your way because you got angry, they just do so because they don't want to have you angry anymore. You're literally a baby. You're literally a baby. It's to a certain degree, okay. Even if it sounds all that clever, which also it doesn't, uh, everyone likes to think of themselves to some degree to higher degree than what they really are. Is it really that clever what I'm saying? No, man. It's just compared from a baby, its words articulated in a more coherent manner instead of meh, meh, but it's the same shit. It's the exact same shit. Actions are what makes things work. That's I never even thought about it, but yeah, that's also why to some degree even writing out anything feels bad. Will it ever solve anything? What kind of plan can you even just okay? We have an issue. We have the world hunger issue. What needs to be done? We need to give food to everyone who is hungry. Please, everybody, clap now. No, man. Even if you have a solution, even if you can plan a solution, it doesn't mean that you solved the problem. It's the same thing as what I was talking about earlier of, oh yeah, mentally we're all beasts on stuff, either on making it look worse or better or whatever you want. But reality isn't such a pleasurable place in that sense. It takes a lot of fucking effort. I mean, I don't know. I think, for example, being honest, if we are to try and do anything about stuff like how we are physically completely abandoning what we could be as humans, it might be an issue that might as well take the next 100 years. We have become so complacent with it that if we were to try and do anything, it will take multiple generations to solve it. And even then, it might as well be something that later on will arise. It isn't something that we can properly eradicate so far. There are things that need to be eradicated in the line of human evolution. Of I remember having this discussion with a professor. We have acquired the capacity of being self-conscious in the line of human evolution. We're in the point in which we can self-actualize by the process of not just understanding what is around us, but understanding what we are as human beings, and being able of projecting things that makes not just the self, but everything else that is related to human species as a whole better, you know? So it's a complicated task to expect a sudden complete evolution in a way in which every single thing goes or falls into place out of nowhere. It doesn't happen, man. It doesn't happen. And just complaining certainly won't make it happen. If any kind of action needs to take place, at the very least, it needs to start right now, so to speak. I don't know. On the other hand, though, certainly it doesn't mean, oh yeah, no plan is worth creating. That's kind of stupid. Being completely polar on how you take things is kind of dumb. Certainly, to some degree, projecting things mentally is useful, but once again, no, no degree of mental preparation makes anything completely work. Anyway, this is the moment in which I need to say we have to pause for like 1 minute. Uh, what was the expression? Idle meeting. I have to attend an idle meeting, so yeah. Uh, give me like 1 second. Anyways, what I see the coffee stream. I don't know. I'm like just chilling, but yeah. Thank you for your patience. Let me take a quick break. Not that I literally. So yeah, let me leave, please. I have to place again. I don't know if I said it. I said that I found out the microphone had a weird noise. I didn't say today was one of those days I felt like, yeah, I have to move it around. So yeah, that's why I'm taking so fucking long. I need to hold it in place. Also, I shouldn't fucking mute, you know? One of the issues I notice is this microphone. What the fuck is it so loud? This microphone, when I move it around and I hit the cable, somehow the cables pick up the noise. Ah, I forgot that my keyboard doesn't work. Yeah. How much I love this shit. Ah, wait, I have to transition again. There is. We have, we have used the wonderful button of the cable is stuck. The cable is stuck. There it is. And I didn't even see the. I hope you haven't hear. You didn't have to hear that fucking cable hitting everywhere. Noise. Anyway, you had to hear that. I just saw it, but that's not as much noise as before, anyways. Going back, what was I getting angry about? Getting angry. Yeah. That's like a meta commentary on stuff, that's also something very useful. I don't know. I remember now. I was thinking about that a lot. I think we need more. Uh, I don't know if metaphysics is the proper word. Meta analysis of things, or they are even called meta studies, something like that. So yeah, everything is meta in that sense. Sadly, there is no other proper term like self-consciousness about the stuff that you do. Basically, we lack a lot of observation about the stuff that happens in daily life. It could be incredibly helpful to try and, at the very least, stop for a second and look around. Or not around, as if there was a lot of things to look at. Just, oh wow, is this one thing that I am doing in any way truly nice? Is this one thing that I am doing maybe something that I can improve on if I were to change things? I don't know. That's the other side of the coin of, oh wow, yeah, you cannot be that critic with yourself. Really, you're going to get complacent with what you do? I don't know. I think human perfection is only reached when you accept that there is no end to the amount of evolution that you can have on things. If anything, we're an animal that can always keep on improving on things. And obviously, you should be pursuing even greater heights with the stuff that you do. It's kind of pointless to settle down with your goals and whatnot. It's it's this whole idea even of, oh well, yeah, you wanna understand how to live life or whatever, then the path that you should follow is the one of, oh wow, you set on a goal and see it as you are going up a mountain. The moment in which you reach the height, what is it, the highest point in the mountain, it is the moment in which you look around and see which mountain is next that is even higher than this one and move to that. That's like the expectable thing. That's what everybody should be capable of doing. It shouldn't be that complicated. You should settling it down is disappointing. I mean, I don't know. I think once I'm just complaining. Most of the time, I'm just complaining about stuff. So it does feel bad in that sense. But I guess it's the issue of settling down. It's something so normalized. I mean, okay, if I had to translate it in an understandable way, because we became aware of our own mortality, the human ended up believing that there was a point in which you had the possibility of giving up on everyone else, because after all, what you are is going to end. So it's an act of egoism to say, yeah, I won't keep trying to become even better or do things that could be even nicer for everyone else. And I mean it doesn't sound that irrational. Probably it's not a very best argument, but it doesn't sound that irrational because I was trying to aim at the point of, I don't know, man. This isn't an issue of, oh wow, the young people are so incapable of aiming at doing things better. Not that the youth is completely incapable of having any issue. So certainly, daydreaming every single day of your life is fucking pointless. Once again, actions are necessary. If you spend every single day of your life lost in your fantasies, you're also failing. But man, that because you have become old, you are now given the benefit of doing nothing. Truly, at some point, you stop being somebody who needs to contribute to the whole of the world. You need to see it in a more, I don't know, direct way or more local way. In your local community, you stop being somebody who also is there for someone else. You're only there to be served. You become in some way a king. Does that make sense in a way? For you, it obviously does. If you're capable of accepting that, of saying, oh yeah, you know what, this is my place. I have been here for too long. I do not need to keep trying. Truly? I don't know, man. It seems insulting. Anyone else who sees that should be capable of observing that what Jesus did is completely abandon everyone else besides yourself. You have it good. You have it to some degree good. You can what I mentioned before. You have the things that give you that dopaministic supplement of happiness, fleeting happiness. And you can keep having that fleeting happiness every single day so that you don't have to deal with the realization of anything else that comes with the emptiness of inaction. So you can keep living a life in which you have things that seem to fulfill you every single day, only lived for and by yourself, and everyone else can perfectly go screw themselves because you are well. Okay? No, man. That's one of the many things that I don't like how I don't like about how we deal with in any kind of way concept of elders, not just older people, elders in any kind of once in a community. That sort of oh wow, yeah, you get to have your own guaranteed place in which you're untouchable. Nothing else is important but you. I don't know. Obviously, I mean, on the other hand, I'm not trying to be completely stupid and say something along the lines of, oh yeah, we should kill elders. No, I'm trying to say it's just disappointing to see somebody who could be so useful in so many ways give up on everyone else. Obviously, the older you become in any way, the also more incapable of dealing with the rest of the world you become. Sadly, we are not, we are human beings, therefore we are not capable of surviving infinitely and without losing our faculties slowly. So it's an expected thing that you should be given some leeway to not get mistreated because you are not capable of handling 1,000 different people every single day with all their issues. But man, that you are given all the leeway in the world to just think about yourself. I don't know, man. It's it's one of the many ways in which you end up with the way in which things work right now. Anybody who's young sees those who are in the position of elders as disgusting people. You wanna change things, you wanna make things better, you wanna make the world a better place. Wow. Then it will be one of the obvious things to change, you know? The way in which that is structured, the way in which out of nowhere self-centered attitudes become accepted out of nowhere, that sort of thing is in a way an issue. Yeah, yeah well, sorry. Welcome. Uh, Today, I'm kinda losing it, but today, what is it? Today is the first day. of the rest of your life. Sorry. Sorry. Sorry, sorry, sorry. Uh, I hope you're well. Salaryman. Also, something that I haven't checked at all. How the fuck are we doing with frames? Let me check that. We haven't gone for like 2 hours, and I know that PC is like incredibly bad. We didn't lose any. We haven't dropped any flames. We are so comfy. Literally, all the issues are these fucking subtitles. Fucking hate them. Anyway, what what was this piece of vegetable talking about? No idea. Uh, but yeah. I guess that the elder people and the confrontation with the youths that ends up as an unavoidable result with how much you settle down for things of that sort. I don't know. It's just like that. It do be like that, I guess. Also, I should at some point start because this okay, uh, what is it? Parentheses, open parentheses. This phone that I have gets incredibly hot, or not? Okay, not incredibly hot, but it starts to get like very warm. I should probably check if that is fine or if I should be worried. Uh, I I haven't done that. I would probably not do that anyways. So yeah, uh, just one of my worries. You know, one of those worries that you are capable of living with. That worries you enough to keep you on your toes, but doesn't worry you enough to do something about it. That sort of thing, or that what is it? That discomfort that you can live with instead of dealing with. So yeah, close parenthesis. Thank you. Uh, that's I'm talking like a lot of stuff today. So that's one of the many things that I hadn't think about. I remember hearing one of my teachers talk about how language is such a complicated thing. Is it? Is it such a complicated thing? And also, is it such a rigid thing? I can introduce symbols. I can completely switch up the way in which I can play with words. Do you truly think it's something that complicated, man? I mean, I am somebody who doesn't even properly speak the language completely fine, and people still understand what the fuck I am talking about. And you're going to say that it is such a complicated mess and such a time, what is it? Such a minutely crafted thing. Are you sure about that? It's if it were to be something like that, it would be something so much more unusable than what we have right now. It is certainly the tool that we have for communication and whatnot, but it isn't the final stop, nor it is the most fundamental thing. The ideas themselves are something that seems a lot more complicated because a proper idea that needs to be understood requires a proper development of the concepts that end up leading you to the conclusion of any idea. But words, sentences, any kind of thing like that is as complicated. Language is something so much more playful than what anybody can think in many ways. And it doesn't need to be something also. One of the many, I know I just complained about complaining, but man, I hate what is it? The scholarization of knowledge, I guess. I don't know what's the proper term. This incredibly slow pace that they use when they are in academical places. This rhythm is kind of designed to assist with the acquisition of knowledge and with the proper understanding of the ideas. No, man, I'm sorry. I love you, but I'm sorry. I don't need to be treated like I am a fucking snail. I understand what you are saying. Can you please speak normally? Even when you speak normally, you don't sound like that, man. Why do people force it so much, man? It's so boring. Anyways, uh, I was starting to get all angry, and so yeah. Anyway, um, I don't know. Also, I'm talking about a lot of stuff. Quick trivia: you shouldn't be drinking water like the last complex English. Me bad complex English. Sorry. You shouldn't be drinking water like 90 minutes before bed or so. It ends up harming you and harming more than anything else your sleeping cycles because you are almost ensuring that you will wake up during the middle of your sleep to go pee, or even worse, there is a moment in which when you are getting accustomed to the bed and you're relaxing your whole self, that you relax even your what is it? What is the organ that holds that bag? I don't remember the name, but you relax that and out of nowhere feel how you are kind of full, so you end up needing to go pee. So yeah, don't drink water before going to bed. No, the last 90 minutes before going to bed or so. Don't do that. Thank you. Uh, it supposedly helps. I don't know. I mean, if you drink a lot of water, even 5 hours before going to bed, you will unavoidably have to go pee at some point, whether you like it or not. I guess that's on you because you shouldn't be hydrated to so much hydration. So yeah, whatever. But I don't. It's just that. Also, uh, no, yeah. I was trying to say, since I'm talking about so many things, I should probably consider going for longer. I should probably consider going for the whole night. No, I can't. I can't. Not today. Uh, there are being a person who makes compromises is such a horrible thing. Uh, being a responsible human being is bad. So yeah, please be responsible. Uh, anyway, no, no long stream today. Sadly, only, only for like, I guess if I had to be responsible, half an hour more probably. But yeah, thank you for dealing with me. I will try. Probably not, but I will try to be here tomorrow. Also, this is my place. I can talk about that without any worry. Tomorrow there will be no fucking bark. I fucking hate this reality. Can we fucking end it? I need the one in which every kind of randomly generated event goes my way. Why are we living in this one? Why those things need to go in a different direction? Why can't all my wishes become true the moment I think about them, you know? Why? So yeah, tomorrow there is no war. So if anything, probably I will try. I don't think this will happen. I will try to stream by myself. Be fucking sad here. But anyways, uh, thank you for the thoughts. I guess thank you for listening. I don't know. Uh, yeah, I mean, that's the reality. Thank you for the attention. That's that. There is there are every single person has things that are that they might want to say, but what matters is that you pay attention to them. So yeah, that's what counts. I mean, yeah, but I don't know. Basically, that I guess going back to what I was saying before, a lot before. At this point, I hadn't been going for so long that I I have once lost the sense of time. Yeah, I will try to write something. This time, I don't wanna say it. I don't wanna say it. I don't wanna risk it. I don't wanna make a compromise that I can't later on deliver. What I was going to say. You know what? If this next winter, if I don't write something, I I should fucking graduate. Probably not. Probably not. If there were to happen any kind of issue, I know my family. I wouldn't be surprised at all if out of nowhere they decide to fucking call me to something. So yeah, I shouldn't say that. It's just a joke. If I end up being impeded from writing this winter break, nothing bad will happen. Also, uh, reminder, I forgot that I'm like not one of the few, but one of the few people who I know that speaks English who isn't from America, I guess. It's amazing how many Americans are on internet. Why does so many places of the world use English as the common language, yet America is the most present country on internet in the English language itself. It's it became a sort of what is it? Silently accepted reality that English became kind of the universal language, yet the most used one is still not the most used one. The most apparent places that use it are either America or, in this case, sadly, we don't have uh, people from Britain because it's fucking late or incredibly early there, or uh, Australia because I don't know, too many questions at that point. I what I had to say was kind of also yeah. That one is getting censored. Uh, ah, but yeah. Anyway, I don't know. I just I said too much shit. Saying just one more reason that I just want to stream more. I want to do that more. It's to see so many people trying their best and having the wish to try but not actually doing it. It's fuck. I guess it uh, somebody got killed. I guess. Anyways, anyways, anyways. I was trying to say, yeah, I I remember this idea of the person who wishes to do things or who could have done things who ends up later on feeling better for that. And it's so incredibly early to simply say, yeah, you know what, it's time to give up. I don't think so, man. It's kind of disappointing to simply give up. Even more when I mean, there are so many possibilities. There is so much time in our hands, so to speak. There are so many great things to try. Yet that just just giving up is sad or disheartening. Yes, that's the proper term. Heartbreaking. There are too many things that if one were to try, it could go well. So simply to say, yeah, you know what, this isn't for me, feels bad. What? What that reaction? What the fuck? Anyway, I'm not opening up ever again. Anyway, uh, but yeah, I don't know. It's, I mean, at the same time, that's what I mentioned earlier. I guess of seeing so many people who also use up, it's the exact same thing. Man, there is so much potential. People chooses to give up slowly sometimes, uh, or I mean, I don't know, the eternal starting phase. It's pretty much the same as, I don't know, having given up. Just to some degree, you end up setting up yourself for failure if you never act. You're just getting more and more ready, you know. So it's just in that way disappointing. But I don't know. I honestly, I don't know anything. I finally reached a moment in which, in one of my many readings, I don't even remember which one, in which I was like, do I even understand anything? How the fuck have I reached the place that I have reached in life? I guess. Uh, I was okay. I was trying to think about that while when I was saying this thing, this last handful of sentences, and I think it isn't going to ask me. I have already gotten in like 5 subjects of this whole career, and I am like, how the fuck how I managed that? I didn't expect that at all. On one can certainly I would have expected that it was going to be so much more complicated than what it has been. It has been disappointing in that sense. But on the other one, there are some things that I don't even consider. Not that I don't understand. If I approved, I supposedly understand them, but do I? They seem to be more complex concepts that what I have in mind. I don't think they are so simple. I might be fooling people. That's what happens. I might just be good enough to fool people. I don't know. A new level of what is it, of impostor syndrome. I don't think so. It's just the reality of being surrounded by so many people who show competence. You learn how to imitate their competence. After all, I mean, probably adaptation. Probably one of the best things even is, for example, in that sense, learning to say things with confidence. The amount of things that have been completely wrong that I have heard from teachers, they said with complete confidence that if I haven't myself tried to learn at all, I would be like, oh my god, yeah, this guy has the truth. No, man, they just say it with confidence. That's such an important part of this whole process. But I don't know. Anyway, completely anyway. Yeah, I don't know. Uh, I don't have the OS on the PC, so I think I will try to. website for PC? Does it show? Can we rate somebody? That is my question. That's all that I wanted to know. Should we? Is there a place to call home? Sorry. Uh, Also, no, wait. I have one final idea. I remember something. I heard something. Uh, there was this concept that I heard about psychosis, induced clinical psychosis. I probably already mentioned that last time, I'm pretty sure. But I am properly giving it a final structure. This pretty much feels the same. Because in the end, even if this isn't any kind of writing, what this is the discussion, even if it is most of the time just a monologue of what a person who has thought about it tries to share with someone else who they assume is interested. So it feels pretty much in that sense psychotic. Certainly, because the discussion of things, I I I have that degree of self awareness of yeah they are fucking out there, man. I I don't know. Not that I will expect to it, man, but certainly I understand of things in a certain way uh, about stuff. Let's say uh, so it makes sense that it feels to some degree so weird, but yeah, it is still useful enough because it is a sort of consciously driven thing and not just compared to real psychosis, something that happens completely unwillingly. So if you can endure anything like this, I guess you, you, you have a good psyche, I guess. I don't know. Is that the conclusion? Is that the final conclusion? Probably not. Probably needs more thinking. I'm, I'm saying bullshit. I always just ignore the fucking potato, man. Anyway, the question was, we can raid, and yeah, we can raid. So, where the fuck can we raid? That's the question. I hate. I can't even. What if? Because why does this thing doesn't even recommend me anything who I follow when I use the initiate raid in the dashboard? Why don't we just bring almost uh, anyway, uh, sorry, that was not the point. I sometimes I tend to laugh too much out at things that literally no one else understood. What the fuck? Free is streaming? Shut the fuck up, brother. We are ready there. That's it. This is the end of the stream. Free is streaming? I cannot believe it. Okay. Um, so let me let me let's say it in lore terms. Let me get up from the bed to say these last things. Thank you for being here. As always, it has been a wonderful experience. It always is. So yeah, whenever I can, bro. I don't think so tomorrow. If I can tomorrow. If not, Sunday. Same time as today. Or no. A little bit sooner. Today I started to fucking date. It was too much procrastination, thinking about if I should do it and whatnot. So yeah, uh, next time I won't try to think about it as hard. Anyway, the point was, thanks for editing. Keep yourself safe. I don't know. Okay, keep your family safe. Do everything that you can. Be happy. Have a nice life. Live a fulfilling life. I don't know. Stuff, Life. Experience that. Smile. Wait. Smile more. Because you look better with a smile on your face once you are capable of accepting that things are good as they are. So yeah. Anyway, this shuts the fuck up for today. We are free, so that's a lot more important. Please say hi to free, and yeah, enjoy. I have nothing else to say for today, for now. So yeah, thanks. Seriously, thanks for everything. And yeah, I kind of forgot. Good night. Good night. Anyway. Anyway.